Yo, what's good, my beautiful people? This your girl, Hustle Queen Lee, and I want to thank you for tuning in to another Sistas review, Season 2, Episode 12, entitled Thinking of You. It was the mid-season finale. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, for it to be a mid-season finale, I was a little disappointed. Not even because the show didn't end on a cliffhanger. You know, I really didn't have, that didn't bother me too much. It was just the overall show. Someone brought back to my remembrance, thank you, that I stated I would do a rating of each episode, and I haven't been doing that on a scale of 1 to 10. So for me, I gave this episode like a cool 6.5. And the only reason I'm saying 6.5, it probably would have been lower, just to be all the way real. It was a 6.5 because I thoroughly enjoyed the authenticity of the way Tyler wrote the scenes with Andy and Karen. Those were real moments. That was so it was so authentic. I saw myself in that situation, which I will explain as I get into the review. So yes, if this is your first time tuning in, I want to welcome you. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment because I do enjoy engaging with you guys. If you are a returning listener, viewer, you know it's always good. I consider y'all family. We family members. So let's get into this thing. Now, the show opens up with Sabrina and Maurice on the phone. He's a little nervous because he believes there might be a slight chance that he really did kill Alonzo. So Sabrina was stating that she had to tell the police where Maurice lived, and they should be arriving at his house in any moment. So he's like, oh my God, what have I done? Because now, all that flashiness and all that other stuff is cute until reality sets in that your ass really might be going to jail. So, he was going through all of that, and Sabrina was laying it on real thick. And so she was like, they should be there. Then there was a knock at the door. I was like, oh, damn, she was serious. But come to find out, Sabrina was lying. It was her at the door. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Some of these scenes I felt like Tyler just threw in there to fill in time, because some scenes really just did not make sense to me. And I would tell y'all what those scenes are as I approach them. This is one of them. So when Sabrina comes back into Maurice's home, now y'all help me out. When they arrived last episode to the crime scene, or to where the fight happened, Sabrina sobered the hell up real quick. When she came back into Maurice's house, I'm like, I know this chick ain't back on this drunkard, situation again. Like, how are we back here? So I'm like, okay. So it's like, okay, well, what happened to Alonzo? Well, he was high. The ambulance were called. They put him in the cab for the cab to take him home. What? Wait a minute. I'm like, Tyler. I think I've been doing a great job at not being too critical, because this is one of probably my favorite show that's out right now. And I'm like, so this man assaulted someone. He was laid out. The ambulance called a cab. No one called the police. The police were not called at all. I said, you know what, Tyler? That that scene I was sitting there watching. My face was like, what? I was all scrunched up because I just did not understand how Sabrina got back into this drunkard state. I didn't understand how the ambulance were called and they called a cab for this man to take him home. But Tyler, baby, Sistas is your world. We just viewers, okay? Because I know you going to do what the hell you want to do. Now, leaving that scene, next we see Karen and Aaron entering Andy's apartment. They are both calling her name, and they're not getting a response. They find her sitting in her bed. So they both ask, are you okay? But it was obvious that Andy was somewhat, she was somewhat out of it. It looked like baby girl was just like off in La La Land somewhere. So Karen asked Aaron if he could give them a moment. And so he stepped out and he informed Karen that he was going to check on Gary. So the conversation with Andy and Karen was such a emotional moment for me, and it was triggering, because I have been Karen in that moment so many times, so many more times than I'd ever imagined I'd be. I can't even explain the sheer amount of hurt and pain that's experienced when you're watching someone you love become completely engulfed in something so detrimental. like that of an abusive relationship, to the point where you don't even recognize your friend or loved one anymore. And the fact that you have to understand that they don't recognize themselves either. It's almost like they're stuck. I'm watching this happen. I know this is happening, but I can't leave. I can't unstick myself from this situation. And understanding that their self-worth, their self-confidence, and their self-esteem no longer exists in that moment. And I really felt like I literally had this conversation with a friend of mine 2 years ago. And this man was her husband, and he abused her in every way possible. Every way possible. This woman went from being someone who was confident, who said what she had to say, who dressed to a T, who was just a strong ray of sunshine. And I watched that transform into someone who didn't know if she was coming or going. Transform someone who was always second guessing herself, making herself feel like maybe she was doing something to make him feel this way or make him do the things that he was doing to her and to their family, because they have children. And so it got to the point to where my friend contemplated suicide, and not only contemplated suicide, she attempted. It was so I can't even explain it. Like, she called me right after it happened. She tried to go head first into this 18-wheeler. And the only reason why it didn't happen is because the 18-wheeler swerved and did not hit her. It was raining. I could hear the wind gustling. She calls me because she's about to drive off of this bridge. And I'm trying everything in the world to try to get her to calm down, to think rationally. And, and that's a hard place to be in for the friend. So when I was listening to Karen, the tears just started flowing from my eyes, because I'm like, you're talking to someone, you're trying to let them know how beautiful they are, how much they don't deserve this, how they have so much worth, so much to live for, and they ain't hearing you. It's going in one ear and out the other ear. I respect Tyler for writing that scene with such sincerity in it, and then for KJ and Ebony to display that, it was very moving for me. That probably was my favorite scene in the whole episode, because it was hard, but it was real. Don't get me wrong, watching that, Andy was getting on my nerves too, just like she was getting on everyone else's, but I understood where she was. I understood that she really does love Gary. And even though she knows that it's wrong what he's doing, it's like the love that she has for him supersedes the abuse that she's been receiving. And so I understood. I was like, Lord, this was a powerful scene. And I understand what it's like to be the friend, even to the point to where when Karen was like, I can't go through this with you again. I can't. She stated that, Andy almost died when they were in college. Now, we didn't know it was that extreme. We knew that when Sabrina brought it up last season, that this man, he did break her ribs. That's what forced Andy to leave. But not knowing that she was close to death, she almost lost her life, we didn't know that until Karen mentioned it in last night's episode. So I was like, wow, this thing is really deep. And I really hope that Tyler really takes this storyline and run with it, because this is not just something you just bring up, talk about, and it disappears. I really would like to see a well-rounded conclusion of this. I stated last review, Andy needs to be in therapy. We need to find out the root of this issue. Why is she continuing to do this? What happened to her? Does she have daddy issues? What is causing her to be attracted to these types of men? So Andy was not going to tell the truth until Karen asked her, that Gary called Aaron and told him that he did something bad to you, because she asked Andy, what did he do to you? And she said nothing. He didn't do anything. So the only reason why she was honest is because Karen knew. So she snapped out of La La Land. That ass snapped out real quick. And so she was like, Gary knows Aaron? Yes, he's in a men's group that Aaron runs. Yes, and he told him he did something bad to you. What did he do? Gary's in a men's group? That don't matter. Just answer the question. What did this man do to you? So she revealed that he squeezed her till she passed out. She's crying. Karen's crying. And she was trying to, basically, she wanted Karen to leave. So Karen was like, no, you're going to come to my house. We're going to go to the hospital. None of that happened. So Karen was like, well, I'm going to stay. So she walked out and told Aaron exactly what Gary did to Andy. Now, I want y'all to answer this question for me. Please answer this, because I want to understand this. I saw many comments stating that Karen ain't got no business. Why she got an attitude with Aaron? Why she coming off at him? I didn't think she came at him crazy in any scene that they had in last night's episode. What I believe we saw was someone trying to process the fact that I almost lost my friend to someone who is abusing her. Only thing she told Aaron was he squeezed her. You need to let him know to leave her alone and to be safe. That's all Karen said. So I'm like, I didn't see the attitude. I didn't see her coming at him. I didn't see that. Sometimes I just think people just want Karen to be this crazy. Like, she's not who she was last season. I didn't see that. Y'all let me know if y'all saw it or if you didn't see it or what was your take on that scene, because I didn't see what everyone was talking about. I just didn't see that. Now, okay. I'm probably going to be all over the place, but we going to get down to what we got to get down to. So, Zack shows up at Danny's house, shirt unbuttoned. What the hell is going on with that? I'm just like, what is the situation with this unbuttoned shirt, Zack? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Why are you walking into this woman's house? Why she got her dude there, whatever you want to call him, her man, the dude that she's dating, whatever. You know this is someone who she is seeing. Why are you walking up in this woman's house with your shirt unbuttoned? Please have some respect, dude. Just no respect at all. Abs and chest just all out. Don't get me wrong. DeVal has a nice body. And yes, I did enjoy looking at it. However, respect, sir, please. So anyway, Preston was getting ready to go to work. I didn't understand this scene. I don't even understand why this scene was written in the episode, because the only thing I got out of it was Zack mentioned, or he stated, that he still loved Karen. He mentioned that he wasn't being motivated by anyone of the opposite sex. He was getting his life together for himself. Danny must have used the word illegal and jail about 15 times in that short scene. In true Tyler Perry fashion, what is up with this repetitive conversation, this repetitive dialogue? But we know that's what he does. It's just what he does. So Preston cooked a great breakfast. Danny really didn't eat it. She didn't want to eat anything in the first place. And so she told Zack that he could have it. He was like, Preston cooked this. Oh, yeah, I'm going to eat it. So he sat there. He was going to sleep in the chair, fell in the chair. That was the end of that scene. Like I stated, I don't even know why that scene was written in last night's episode. But there you have it. So Sabrina and Maurice. So Sabrina ended up staying over at Maurice's house. So he goes to wake her up. They have 2 hours before it's time for them to get to work. He was basically just stating that Sabrina's breath smelled really bad and that she needed to go to the dentist, and the dentist needs to scrape her esophagus. I laughed. That scene was funny to me. You know, that scene was funny to me, but I was really hoping we could go through one episode that featured Maurice that we didn't hear the B word. We know that was an epic fail. I was like, come on. Please take that word out of his dialogue. Just please. It's like I stated, it's insulting at this point. It's downright disrespectful. And the fact that Sabrina she goes along with it. She doesn't say anything about it. So that makes him believe that it's okay. So Calvin ended up showing up with his bag and first and last month rent to move into Maurice's spare bedroom. I said, this should be interesting. You know, I wanted to see the dynamic between him and Sabrina when she would come out. But really nothing happened. Maurice was trying to get some information out of Calvin about the woman he was with, how he feels, but Sabrina ended up coming out and it crashed that. So he couldn't get any more information. She had her hand over her mouth. She apologized to Calvin about her morning breath, and then that was just it. And I was like, okay. And then Maurice told Calvin, for him to be a straight man, he has a lot to learn about women. Like, everything that Sabrina's doing is screaming that I care about you, I like you, I want to be with you. And Calvin is blinded too. I'm just sick of them. I'm so sick of Calvin and Sabrina. It don't make no sense. It's to the point that when they come on screen, I'm sucking teeth, rolling eyes, because I don't understand. I really don't understand it. You're grown as adults. Handle your business. Now, let me deal with Sabrina. I hated Sabrina's entire energy this entire episode, especially at the bank. So Jacoby comes in. He think he's running late, and he's mumbling over so much traffic on 285 and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, hi. And he was like, hi. And she gave him his report, and he gave her a flower. And he was like, you've been nice to me. You're nice. I want to give you something nice. And he's been nothing but respectful to Sabrina and Maurice. So he shot, he tried to shoot a shot and she turned him down and gave the man the flower back. I was like, damn. Sabrina, you could have kept that flower, sis. You could have kept that flower and put it in your office. It was a nice gesture. He did ask her out. It didn't work out. He was like, well, I'm going to return, with my tail tucked between my legs and go on about my business. So Maurice comes over there and she was like, I think he called her the B word there, like you flirting and all of this other good stuff. So Alonzo comes into the bank. Alonzo is looking like he's so apologetic about what happened. And I've been talking to the lady. I've been going to therapy. When you went to therapy, bro? Because you lying out your ass. When did you go to therapy? Because the night that you showed up to the bank, you were very aggressive. He did tell Maurice that he didn't come there to fight him or for there to be a physical altercation. He did state that. However, there's a restraining order. Why are you here? You are not obliging to this restraining order that Maurice has on you, sir. Why are you here? You told this man, I beat your ass. I did this. Oh, you remember that? Like he was so aggressive and just so, I guess, trying to be intimidating. And then the next time we see you trying to talk about how, I've been trying to get myself together. I've tried anger management. Damn it ain't working, bruh. Your anger management ain't working. Your therapist not working. It ain't the fact that they're not working. You're not doing the work because therapy just don't work just because you're going. You have to apply the principles that they're teaching you and apply it to your life for there to be change. So I'm like, Alonzo, get the hell out of here. So Sabrina was so like aggressive. Yeah, nigga, what he said. I'm like, oh, who this? Who this? It amazes me. It amazes me how Sabrina has so much massive energy for everyone else and everyone else's situation, yet she cannot ask Calvin a simple question about his drug usage. So Sabrina, I'm like, girl, bye. Sit your ass down. Sabrina pissed me off almost to the point, I know I was cussing her out, in my mind because I'm just like, I don't like people like that. I can't be close to people like that. And then also Sabrina is hella judgmental. She can see everybody, excuse me, because I'm mad. Sabrina character pissed me off last night. I'm like, you can see everybody else shit. Clear as day. Everybody else stuff. Yet, when it come to your stuff, you don't deal with it. But you're so quick to call out somebody else. I hated how she treated Jacoby this episode. Some people were stating that they don't trust Jacoby after knowing that he knows Alonzo. And I'm like, that mess pisses me off. So what? He knows Alonzo. He stated he knows Alonzo from his parties. And then the fact that Sabrina told him just a couple minutes before, we need to keep our relationship strictly professional. Okay, so just because I know someone, I don't need you questioning me about how I know them. When Sabrina told Jacoby about Alonzo being the person that beat up Maurice, he was so shocked because the person that he knows Alonzo to be doesn't fit that particular mold of a person that Sabrina is explaining. It's just like people in our family. Oh, Junebug used to molest Haley when she was younger, but you don't know Junebug to be that person. So it's hard for you to grasp that information and view him that way. It's the same thing. He knows Alonzo for throwing great parties. He throws great parties. I just know him from being around the city. Everyone knows him. And I'm thinking, Sabrina, Alonzo is also a professional football player. Ma'am, let's not forget that. He is known. He's a well-known person. That's why he doesn't want these charges to stick to him, because I'm a public figure, and what this is going to do to my career, if this comes out, when this comes out, how it gets played out, it's going to affect me financially, all that good stuff. Maybe they kick you off the team. I don't know. But I hated how she treated Jacoby, questioning him. She must have told this man, go back to work, like 3 times. It's like, baby girl, who the hell are you? Who are you to talk to this man like this? He's done nothing to you at all. He's done nothing. He's been nothing but nice. And even if Jacoby is written to be this dark character, that is not who he has been presented to us as of yet. And he has not shown anything that to me, that would demonstrate him being this questionable, this questionable character, not for the type of energy that Sabrina was giving him as well as Maurice. So when that happened, Aaron and what's his name? Aaron and Gary shows up to the bank. So they're looking for Andy. Andy's supposed to be there. She's not there. Now, I did have a problem with this, Andy. You're going to your homegirl place of employment yet again when you win some deep crap, when you win some deep mess. You didn't even call Sabrina to alert her or alarm her about what's going down in her bank today. Didn't do it. Didn't say nothing. I did have a problem with that, and I could see Sabrina's, being upset about that. I would be upset about that. Sabrina was more upset about not being in the loop with the business than she was about Andy not informing her of that particular business. So I'm gonna pause right there. Let's go to Andy and Karen. So it's the next morning. Karen has fixed some coffee. I was going to say KJ. Andy comes out looking amazing in that blue dress. My God. I mean, shoot. I'm like, dang, that was a bomb looking dress. But anyway, so she comes out and so Karen was like, what's the plan? She tells Karen, I'm going to give him the money back and I'm going to be through with this. Karen really didn't believe her. So she was like, I'm going to go with you. No, I could do this by myself. No, I'm good. I'm going to come with you. Are you going to end it for me too? And so anytime that Karen begins to make a valid point about Andy always deflects and she brings up something about Karen's past relationship with Zack. I hate that with a passion. I hate that with a passion. Why do that? When someone's giving you a good point, why deflect it and bring up some jacked up mess that they're not even dealing with anymore? And I saw so many comments about this as well. How is it that Karen can talk to Andy about what's going on in her life and she got mess going on in her life? I said, what does Karen got going on? Please help me. Other than trying to figure out her relationship with Aaron, how they're maneuvering, what's happening with them, what is going on so terribly in her life that she can't give advice to Andy? And then to me, this episode wasn't even about giving Andy advice. This thing was like, look, sis, your life depends on this. You have to make a decision about what you're going to do, because if you don't, there is a possibility you could lose your life if you don't make the right decision. I saw comments like, oh my God, Karen got on my nerves this entire episode. How? I don't even understand that she got on your nerves for being a friend. She got on your nerves for trying to talk and speak life into her friend because she's already been through something with Andy. They all have been through something. They all have been through this with Andy before. So I'm like, she got on your nerves because of that. I didn't understand that. But you want to talk about, let's stick with getting on nerves. So back at the bank, Gary, Aaron show up. They sitting down waiting for Andy to pull up. So Sabrina goes to call Andy. Andy was like, she'll be there in 5 minutes. She calls Karen. Karen like, I'm walking in now, sis. She comes in. She escorts Karen to her office. So she's trying to figure out what's going on. Karen was basically like, Andy will tell you. Because honestly, it wasn't Karen's business to tell. So now we getting into this situation that I don't go back and forth with people on social media. I do enjoy reading people's comments. I enjoy seeing how people think. But there are some things that I'm just like, how the hell did y'all come up with that? How the hell are you mad about that? I know that people hate the fact that Karen and Andy do not tell Danny and Sabrina everything that happens. And you know what? I don't even understand how that's even a question. And I'm going to tell y'all why. I ain't even going to go into the past. I'm going to deal with 2 episodes ago. 2 episodes ago, it's the girls' night. Danny and Sabrina was spilling hot tea all over that table in front of Fatima, a woman who they don't even know. They were telling each other's personal sexual business in front of a woman who they don't even know. I don't give a damn if Andy said Fatima is her ride or die. Keyword, her. Y'all don't know Fatima from a can of paint, yet you are revealing personal business that's not even yours. Even to the point when Andy said she had taken care of the bill, Danny was like, what are you not telling me? What does Sabrina say? She has all of Gary's money. What? Danny says, how much? Sabrina says, a lot. Sis, was that your business to tell? So I would be very cautious about what I reveal to Danny and Sabrina, because push come to shove, when they're in their feelings, they have no problem revealing things that is not their business to share. And I'm like, let's not act like when you have a group of friends that one person is not closer to another, or you may tell two of the friends this, but you can't tell the other friend because she pops off. She gonna get you hyped to go put your foot in somebody's ass, so you know she ain't the one to tell this to. And I love the fact that Karen said, when you tell me things and you tell me not to tell the girls, do I tell them? Instead of Sabrina acknowledging that and answering that question, she says, oh, so she told you not to tell us? Like, sis, that's what you heard? That's what you heard. I said, my God, why are we 16? Well, you have to know everything that's happening in your friend's life, in your friend's business. I don't understand that. And it could be like that. I just know for me personally, it's not like that. I don't talk to my friends every day. I don't. When we do talk, we talk. We catch each other up on what's going on because we have lives. We're grown. We have men. We have careers. We have children. Everybody's situation is different. So it behooves me that they hold on, Sabrina and Danny, so strong to what they don't tell them. And it's not like they tell each other everything either, because Danny in the whole situation with someone who got a racist ass family, you ain't tell your girls that. You ain't tell them that, but you're dealing with that. That's your situation. So I'm just like, man, get out of here with that. We ain't 16 years old. We grown women. You're not going to know everything. You just not going to know everything. So all the women show up. They're in the bank. Sabrina calls Danny, have her to come over. I did appreciate them trying to uplift Andy and encourage her and let her know that it is not right. I don't care if he's married. That does not give him license to put his hands on you. I respected Danny for saying that, and I thought it was a big up. Then in the very next moment, Danny irked the hell out of my soul, okay? And that's deep. She irked the hell out of my soul. When they were telling Andy about, how we stated we would never let a man do this to us again. And Karen said at some point it has to stop. And she said, I did it with Zack. Danny says, oh, so now Zack was abusing you now? And Karen brought up the fact that he threw the keys in her face and he also elbowed her. And Sabrina looked at Karen like, what? Like she didn't know about that. And she was like, see, you didn't even know. And so Danny's response was, oh, it was a mistake. It was an accident. How do you know? And the reason why that line pissed me off so much is because I'm thinking, who the hell are you to minimize or to try to attempt to invalidate how your girl felt? If I'm telling you their shit, Karen and Zack's stuff was so toxic, it didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense how toxic that relationship was on both parts. I'm not blaming Zack for everything because it wasn't all his fault. It was a shared responsibility of remaining in a toxic situation. Same thing. And abuse is not just somebody putting their hands on you. It's verbal, it's emotional, it's psychological, it's sexual. All of those things. So for me, Danny really pissed me off because I'm thinking, and I know a lot of people may disagree with me on this, Danny is a toxic friend to Zack because she is an enabler to his toxic behaviors and toxic mindset. She really is. He could come over there whenever he wants to. There is no accountability. There is nothing. And I already told you guys, I'm not a big fan of their scenes together. But it's like at some point, Danny, come on. And then she wishy-washy with Zack. Sometimes you want to hold him accountable. Other times you don't say anything. And so for me, I hated that scene so much. And I'm really trying to figure out where Tyler was going with that. Because it was hard for me to sit there and stomach a woman who's supposed to be your sister. And you're trying to invalidate what she went through with this person. And I just really did not understand Danny's response to that. It really just like, and I said that she's my least favorite. It really put a bad taste in my mouth with Danny when it comes to that because I just didn't understand. Because Karen even was like, what's wrong with you? Like, where this energy coming from? And I just didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. So when they leave out of the room, this was before all the women came, Karen grabbed Aaron's hand and like they walked away from Gary. And she asked him, was he okay? And he was like, I should be asking you that. And Karen was basically telling him, I just don't like when people try to hurt my friends. And he understood that. And she asked if he confessed, or he owned up to what he did. And Aaron told her that he did. And she was like, well, I need to go tell him myself. And so he was like, no, we're not going to do that. And that raised a question with a lot of people I saw. They were questioning Aaron's response. Aaron, is skeptical. He's questionable because he's talking out of both sides of his mouth. And I'm like, hey, let's not forget that Aaron is in ministry. And I don't know about anybody else listening. If you've been in ministry, if you've been in leadership in ministry, I have. 8 years of my life, truly dedicated. I was in leadership in ministry, and there are certain things that you have to separate. And I think it's just in life. But especially when you're in something like that, you have to separate your personal feelings from what you're supposed to do. I do not agree with Aaron, disowning Gary or whatever type of relationship that they have. Because at the end of the day, Gary needs help too. Gary needs someone in his corner to motivate him because, bro, you have a problem. The same way the people were happy that the sisters rallied around Andy, the same way he needs some men to rally around him and let him know, bro, look, we got your back, we behind you, but you have a problem that you must deal with. And I think sometimes as women, and I'm not saying you help the man that beat you, I'm not saying that, but at the end of the day, I believe that it is important to want to see brothers make it, sisters make it. Everybody got their own situation going on. There is no excuse for anybody to put their hands on anyone, period. At the same time, like I said, I don't want Gary to be out there by himself because the brother, he touched. He is touched and he needs some professional help, just like Andy. Do I believe that they're going to leave each other alone? No, because the reality, it doesn't work that way. And we saw that when they gave, Andy gave him the money. She said it was all there minus $3,000. We don't know what the $3,000 was for, but it ain't there. And when they left, and Andy cried from the depths of her soul because she was like, I don't have this. Oh, my gosh, she's stupid. How can you love somebody? It's like, come on now. Come on. We can understand that. We can understand we have been in some, we're people. We're human, which means that we have our own path and journey that we are on. It is not my responsibility to come at you for having a different life than I have. It's different. We all been hurt. We all have experienced loss and pain. That is a very relative emotion and feeling. And I just feel like it's something that we can extend to everybody. When that girl cried, I'm like, damn, I felt that. It's hard letting someone go that you love, that you know is no longer beneficial for you, that is detrimental for you, that is life and death for you. You got to stop. You have to leave. So that was the end of the episode. Like I said, this episode was weird to me for it to be the winter finale. It felt like last week's episode should have been this week's episode. And so it wasn't really, it was just cool. Like, it was just cool. It wasn't any wow moments for me, like, oh my God. Like, it wasn't anything like that. It was just like a regular episode that I felt Tyler kind of threw together because some of them scenes just didn't sit well with me. That's just what it was. I think I covered everything. I don't know. But I just want people to really think about that whole thing with Sabrina them and trying to know everyone's business and all of that good stuff like that. It is important to know that people deserve privacy when they're going through stuff. They don't have to tell you everything. It's not your business to know, so on and so forth. And I could respect the fact. I'm like, Sabrina, they're friends. The four of them are friends, but they also have a sisterhood within the four. And I'm just like, Sabrina, you and Karen have a sisterhood. Does she not respect the relationship that she has with you to not tell them your business? I just wish that everybody could understand that. And like I said, it could be different from me. Maybe me and my friends are just different. Everybody is different. But y'all tell me when it comes to your friendship, men too, when it comes to y'all friendships, do you have to know everything that's going on in your friend's life? Like, do you give them that leadway to tell you when they're ready to tell you or when they feel comfortable to tell you? Because even in that scene when they were all together, Andy looked at Danny and she said, okay, Danny, tell me how stupid I am. Because that was already the expectation of what Danny was going to say. And if I'm already down, if I already think I'm making the wrong decisions, why would I want to talk to somebody who I know going to kick me while I'm down? So that's how I really felt about it. I felt about that scene. It just irked my damn soul, as y'all can tell. But like I said, I gave this episode a 6.5. It was cool for what it was. I did expect more. But we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see the show coming back Wednesday, January 27th, 9 p.m. only on the one and only BET. That sound like a plug. Like I should be getting a check from BET. I'm gonna put that out there and let God do his thing. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we are getting closer to holidays for those who are, I know this is a hard time for a lot of people who have experienced loss, but I hope that you feel comfort. I hope that you feel that your heart smile as you think about the memories you have made with your family or friends who are no longer here. If you celebrate, you know, the holidays, if you celebrate Christmas, I hope that you have a great holiday with your family and your friends and those who you adore most in the world. And I will see y'all later. Not January 27th. I got something special I'm working on, so we'll see. I should be doing another thing next week, but we'll see about that. We'll keep y'all updated. Make sure you click the description so you can also follow me on social media. I'm gonna do better. I have been doing horrible with social media. It's a toxic relationship between me and social media because I don't like it sometimes and I like it and sometimes I love it. But it is what it is. Make sure y'all follow me. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being so engaging with me. I do appreciate it. I don't take anything lightly. It means the world to me. I really appreciate you guys. And I will holler at y'all later. Until next time, love y'all. Y'all be safe out there. One.